students. Doing more equations of lines. So make sure you remember that slope-intercept form and point-slope form and all that good stuff. I'll move some stuff around. Okay, so something to write down. Parallel lines and slopes. Two lines in the same plane, basically on the same sheet of paper, that never intersect are called parallel lines. It says vertical lines are parallel if and only if they have the same slope. So two lines that never intersect are parallel, and lines that have the same slope. So you're looking for lines and the slopes that are exactly the same, or would reduce down to the same. And also, all vertical lines are also parallel. That should make sense because they're all vertical. Perpendicular lines are lines that intersect to form right angles. Those are called perpendicular. So they make right angles. Non-vertical lines are perpendicular if and only if their slopes are, and I'm not going to say negative reciprocals, I'm going to say opposite reciprocals. And I'll talk about that more. And then vertical lines and horizontal lines are perpendicular. So that's like a timeout symbol. Okay? So vertical and a horizontal. Okay, so when we determine if lines are parallel or perpendicular, we only look for slopes. So you count, okay? All we gotta do is count. 1, 2, 3, 1. So line A has a slope of 3/1. Okay, line B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So line B is 4/1. And line C is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So line C has a slope of 4/1. So you can see, again, C, B, A. Which two have the same slopes? Well, 4/1 and 4/1. So we could say B is parallel to C. And parallel is just like two little slanted number ones, kind of, two little mini parallel lines. So B is parallel to C. Okay, we'll do the same thing here. So A, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So that's -4/2. Okay, now we'll do B. 1, 2. We're going by twos, aren't we? We are going to do this again because I think we're going by twos, right? No. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Yep, so that was still -4/2. Okay, we'll try this one again. Put in the wrong one, sorry guys. 1, 2 and a half, 1. So that is 2.5/1. And then C is 1, 2, 1. So that is -2/1. Oh, and this green one was negative. So they are all negative slopes. Okay. The green is -2.5/1. The blue is -2/1. And the red is -4/2. Okay. But this reduces to -2/1 as well. So which two reduce down to the same? The blue and the red are both -2/1. So A is parallel to C because the blue and the red are representative. Okay, you're looking for the same slopes. You just count it. Okay, are any parallel or perpendicular? Okay, so we'll start with A. Here's A. Okay, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So that's -4/2. Okay, now I'm going to erase that and we'll say the green is still line B. Here's B. This is 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's 2/2, and it's positive. And now line C is blue. Here's line C. 1, 2, 1. So that's negative 2 over 1. Okay. So when I reduce, this is also negative 2 over 1. When I reduce, this is 1 over 1. So are any two lines parallel? Yes, the blue and the red. So A is parallel to C. Now, that's all we got there. Let's try here now. Okay, so red is A. Here's my A. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. So that's positive 6 over positive 2. Line B, I'll get rid of this just so it doesn't confuse us. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So negative, oh, nope, 2 over negative 6, or negative 2 over 6, because it was down 2 over 6. Okay, and line C, is, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. So line 6 is a positive 6 over 2. Okay? Now I'm going to reduce these. Okay. So this becomes 3 over 1. If I reduce it, this also becomes 3 over 1. So do you see the red line A is parallel to the blue line C? Perfect. Now, this reduces to negative 1 over 3. That is a opposite reciprocal. So if I look at my red 3 over 1, I take the reciprocal, I flip it, and take the opposite. So do you see a positive 3 over 1 and a negative 1 over 3 are opposites and reciprocals? You can flip them. So A and B are perpendicular. How do we say that? A is perpendicular to B. Okay, but what you should notice is, look here and here. Those are also opposite reciprocals. So B is also perpendicular to C because B is a negative 1/3 slope and C is a positive 3 over 1. So they are reciprocals, they're flipped, and they're opposites. So you actually have one thing that is parallel and two that are perpendicular. Lots of stuff. Okay, so look at this equation. What is the slope of that line? Okay, do you see the slope is a positive 1/2? That's the slope. Okay, what is the slope of the line parallel to it? Well, the slope of the line parallel is the same slope, same slope. What is the line perpendicular? Now I flip it, and if it's positive, I make it negative. If it's negative, I make it positive. Well, it is positive, so I have to make it negative, or I could also just say it's negative 2. So it's flipped and make it the opposite. That's why I say opposite reciprocal. Okay. Ooh, this equation, here's the problem. It's not in slope-intercept form. So first I got to get it in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to minus 3x from both sides. And I'm going to get negative 4y equals, now the x has to go first because you're going into y equals mx plus b. And I'm going to divide everything by negative 4 to get y by itself. You got to know slope-intercept form. So my slope-intercept form is a negative over a negative is a positive, and that's a negative 5 at the end. So that's slope-intercept form of that equation. Okay. What is the slope of this line? The slope is actually a positive 3/4 of this line right there. Okay. What is the slope of the line parallel? Well, the slope of the line parallel is exactly the same. What is the slope of the line perpendicular? I flip it, and if it's positive, now I make it negative. If it was negative, now it would be positive. That's all I need to do. Okay, so it says, are the lines parallel, perpendicular, or neither? So look, I'm comparing slope of line 1 is 5. Slope of, or I could say 5 over 1 if I need to. Slope of line 2. Well, they are not the same. Remember, parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular are opposite reciprocal, means opposite flip-flop or neither. Well, these are not parallel. They are perpendicular. That's a little perpendicular symbol. Okay? Okay, they are flip-flopped and opposites. I'm going to make these into fractions. Negative 10 and positive 10 are opposites, but they are not reciprocals, so this is a neither. Okay, 1/4, 0.25. Think of that as 25 cents. That is 1/4, 1/4 of a dollar. That's the same slope, which means they are parallel. You could say this is parallel, hint, hint. And if you need to, perpendicular. Okay, and the last one, I'm going to make these fractions. So -1 over 1 versus 1 over 1. They're opposites. Are they reciprocals, flip-flopped? Yes, actually. So they are perpendicular. Because 1 over 1 flipped is still 1 over 1. That's a tricky one. Okay, says find the slopes and determine if they're perpendicular, parallel, or neither. Okay, so the slope here is 5 over 1. The slope here is -5 over 1. They are opposites. They are not reciprocals, so that would be neither. Okay, oops, sorry. Forgot which way I was going. Okay, now slopes are always just in front of the x. So it doesn't matter what the y-intercept, not looking at that at all. So that's 8 over 1. Remember, when you have a whole number, you can put it over 1. They are the same slopes, so this is parallel. That's shorthand for parallel. Okay, and the last one, this is a positive 2/3. This is a -3 over 2. One is positive and one is negative, so they are opposites. Are they flip-flopped or reciprocals? Yes. So that's tells me they are perpendicular. Okay. So again, parallel, perpendicular, or neither. It says using the given lines, write an equation. Okay, so if I want to write an equation that is parallel to this line, I pick it, I use the same slope, I just have to use a different y-intercept. Okay, doesn't matter what it is, can't be 1. Okay, perpendicular means I take the opposite and flip it, okay, and do a different y-intercept. I could use the same number if I want. And neither means I have to pick a slope that is not one of those. So I could have a slope of 6 over 7. It just can't be 5/7 or -7/5. So it can be anything. Okay, the only difference here, now, this isn't in slope-intercept form. So first you got to get it in slope-intercept form. Okay, so we have 2y equals -3x plus 12. And then I'm going to divide everything by 2. And the whole idea is, now I see my slope is -3 over 2x plus 6. So when I'm writing the equation of a line parallel, I want the same slope, -3 over 2 times x, and then pick a different number at the end. Perpendicular, I'm going to take a flip-flop them, and now they're positive, and pick a different number. Okay, and neither, pick any other number. Okay, could be anything. Doesn't have to be a fraction. It's up to you. Okay, so you have a little homework, just a little bit. It's not too bad. And obviously check your answers and do your formative, please. Have a great day. Let me know if you have questions.